Right, I've got a cracker for you today. Today I'm going to talk about the Threatin story. I read about this on Facebook about a week ago. That there's this guy in America, and I think he's from LA, and he's got this rock band called Threatin, and basically he set up a fake booking agent. He set up a tour of Europe, including the UK, 10, I think, relatively small venues, and made out that every event was sold out. And so you've got this guy turning up, and of course you're always going to end up with maybe one or two support acts who've, and I've definitely been involved in this sort of thing myself, where you turn up to support this act, and it's like a really big night for you because you're playing a bigger venue than you normally play at, and you've got this the excitement of, oh wow, it's sold out, or there's such a great band, there's going to be loads of people there, and you turn up, and it's just, we did a gig once where by the end of the night the only people left watching the main band were those of us from the support band. So I guess everyone's going to try and make out that this whole Threatin thing is like really unusual, and oh my gosh, it's probably not as unusual as they're going to try and make out, actually. So maybe that's a different perspective that you won't have heard on this story. So it gets interesting. There's a couple of things. When I heard about it last week, I heard that one of our local venues called the Asylum 2 had booked Threatin, and I think one of the bands had warned them. So Threatin had played in Bristol to no one, and the band that supported Threatin in Bristol had contacted the band who were going to support them in Birmingham, and the band told the venue that something was wrong. And of course, and then the venue were able to verify that no tickets had been sold. So the venue then did a couple of things. They made it free on the door so anybody could wander in. Although, I know the Asylum too, and it's in a location where people don't wander past. But I guess once they made it free, perhaps some people came out especially to see it, I don't know. But I guess the other thing is, what's really unfair about this is that this guy is making out that he sold all of his tickets, so the venue's going to put plenty of staff on the bar, and those staff are just going to be sat around twiddling their thumbs all night, and the venue's going to lose money. So, I can definitely see this from both sides, but let's just stand back for a minute and just, it's a funny story. You've got this guy who's basically, he's paid for YouTube views, he's paid for likes on his Facebook page, he's completely created a band out of nothing. And for that, what can you say? And then he's managed to book this tour of Europe, he's come on over, and he's played, and apparently happily got up on stage with his band, which I think, we'll come to this in a minute, which I think might be paid musicians as well. So this guy's blowing loads of money. Now of course, where it could become kind of where this could all change is, of course, a lot of people are talking about this. I think it's gone viral. I was listening to the last podcast on the left last night, and I'd forgotten about this whole story, and the last podcast on the left have just done an episode called Threatin. It's a side stories episode called Threatin, and they talked about this, and they even mentioned, and this is an American podcast, and they actually mentioned the Asylum 2 in Birmingham, so I thought that was pretty cool. Okay, so let's have a little look at this. Let's see what we can find out. From Altpress.com, Threatin bassist speaks up about fan base faking band. It seemed legit. The bizarre story of LA rock band Threatin continues to develop. Live bassist Gavin Carney is now sharing a statement defending Jared Threatin. Very good musician, very talented person. You can watch the statement in full below. LA rock band Threatin have quickly skyrocketed into viral fame for all the wrong reasons. It all started when reports came out about a band called Threatin, which somehow managed to create a fake fan base, fake record label with a roster of non-existent bands and fake YouTube videos to score a European tour. Amidst the scandal, live guitarist Joe Prunera and drummer Dane Davis quit the band mid-tour. I didn't know that. Frontman Jared Threatin and live bassist Gavin Carney were then left to finish out the remainder of the run as a duo. Wow. Later, Davis shared a statement claiming that he and the other Threatin backing band members had no idea of the true nature of the tour. Read the statement and see the drummer's video below. I'm still trying to take everything in. It's been overwhelming these past couple of days, he says. I appreciate everyone's patience during this time and want to say thank you to everyone who's reached out with support for Joe, Gavin and myself. I can't thank you enough. Now bassist Gavin Carney is finally sharing his thoughts about the whole situation. In a video, the musician answers questions and gives more insight about his relationship with Jared, Threatin and the band. Come on, where is he? Oh, here he is.
Hi, my name is Gavin, and this is my statement about my tour experience with Jared Threatin. I wrote some notes down here. I'll be going over a lot of the questions I've been getting asked a lot about what's going on. So first of all, did I go in knowing about the scandal? No, myself, Joe, and Dane were just hired guys, just session players. We don't know much about the logistics of anything, you know. We just get hired on to play. Do I feel conned by Jared? Not necessarily. I have no reason to believe he is responsible for ticket sales or the amount of audience that we get. However, I don't have any evidence to prove he isn't. I never physically met management or people in charge of marketing or venues and all that. I never met any of those people.
He continues to say that although he never actually met Threatin's manager or anyone in charge of the venues the band played, he heard phone calls and that it seemed legit. Carney also explains why he didn't quit mid-tour like his bandmates. He says he decided to stay because he didn't have the money to leave, even though Threatin and his wife offered to pay for his ticket home if he wanted to go. His plans changed after Threatin shared a fake news post on Twitter, which worried Carney's family, who then asked him to go back home. Right, fake news post on Twitter. Jared Threatin's true identity, musical history exposed. Looks like the fan base faking musicians actually been at it a while. I feel like I won the lottery or something, opines long-time Abigail Williams frontman Ken Sorceron on Facebook today. Man, this explains so much. The musician is referring to the revelation that Jared Threatin joined his black metal band back in 2010. A once forgotten point now surprising even to the group's leader. The other day, I literally thought to myself that he looked suspiciously a lot like the dude. The other day, I literally thought to myself that he looked suspiciously a lot like the dude as Sorceron. But then I thought there was no way that it was him, but it's actually him. Yet it goes so much deeper. For Jared Threatin, the man who fronts eponymous metal act Threatin, and who made headlines this week after faking a sizable online fan base, along with a fake record label and fake booking agent, to secure a European tour under the notion of false pre-sale numbers, has a musical history under his true identity that stretches back for years. In fact, and perhaps unsurprisingly, Threatin isn't even his first band, nor is it the first act for which he may have employed some of his reportedly underhand promotional tactics. Threatin's real name is Jared Eames, and he previously spearheaded black metal project Satith in his small hometown of Moberly, Missouri. He's currently 29 years old and lives 80 miles from Los Angeles in Hesperia, California. Jared appears to have been the sole member of Satyth as well, mirroring that of his drive to perform all instruments on Threatin recordings. The musician defended his reasons for playing all the parts himself as a necessity forced by time constraints, in addition to his own musical enjoyment in a series of since-deleted YouTube videos. But playing live metal requires more bodies, even if the gig's booked under his false pretenses. So Jared recruited bassist Gavin Carney, guitarist Joe Prunera and drummer Dane Davis for Threatin's farcical European jaunt, the latter two quitting mid-tour once Jared's deceitfulness was exposed. Davis spoke out in a video message Tuesday saying he didn't know of the tour's dishonest origins until the news broke. Threatin's tour kicked off November the 1st, and that's when venue owners first started noticing something strange about the band. Namely, the group would claim to have sold hundreds of advance tickets for the gigs, misleadingly assuring promoters that they could draw a crowd across the pond. Of course, come showtime, no such attendees would materialise. Ah, here we go. Stage Right Bookings presents Threatin, Breaking the World Tour, UK and Europe. 1st of November, The Underworld, London, UK. Hang on a minute. Okay, alright. Yeah, it's mostly UK. 1st of November, The Underworld, London. 4th of November, Trillions, Newcastle. 5th of November, Ivory Blacks, Glasgow. 6th of November, The Exchange, Bristol. 7th of November, Rebellion, Manchester. 8th of November, Asylum 2, Birmingham. 11th of November, Empire Music Hall, Belfast. 13th of November, Le Club, Paris. 15th of November, Druso, Bergamo. 6th, Bergamo? Bergamo. Where is Bergamo? What's IT? Oh, Italy. Wow. All over the place. This guy has spent some money on this tour. Druso, Bergamo, IT. 16th of November, Cafe Central. The musician spoke up yesterday on Threatin's own Twitter account, indicating that he would release some sort of statement on the matter today. Jared delivered on his promise Wednesday afternoon, sharing two new images. One a quote from the musician, the other a stylised promo photo. What is fake news, he asked in the post. I turned an empty room into an international headline. Thanks a lot. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. Please drop a like, smash subscribe and destroy the bell. Thanks a lot.